Good morning. Another day in paradise here in the Midwest of 30 degrees and cloudy. And headed to my first job of the day. So started out with just one job. Now I have 3 jobs. I had 3 leads come in last night from my Facebook ads, and then a Google local service ad call just came. So I've got 2 more jobs lined up, and hopefully more later today. Here's a little trick though. So, well, maybe it's not really a trick. So it's Saturday, and pretty much all the dumps are closed. I think one of them's open till noon, but it's too far for me to get down in time and get to the first job. So what I have to do sometimes is treat my place as a transfer station. I just dump everything out. So I don't think I would be able to pull that off if I lived in like the suburbs. HOA would get really mad. They'd kick me out. But where I'm at, it works out, because then, when I get back, I can just quickly throw it back in. So it's not ideal, but that's kind of what you have to do to make room for these 3 jobs that I'll be doing today. Anyway, the podcast name is coming together, and the intro. So let me explain that a little bit. So for the first few episodes, I was not sure what to name this podcast. And so finally last night, I had some time. It took me 4 hours. I just sat down, came up with a name. So Strong Back Nation, that's the name. That's the name of the podcast. Here we go. So I'm excited about it, because I've been wanting to do a podcast for like five years or maybe longer. Because before this, I did like 1 or 2 episodes of like a marketing podcast a long time ago. But that's just not, I couldn't get beyond that, because it just was not exciting enough to keep going. So with this junk removal, like I could talk about this all day long, every day. And so for the longest time, I was trying to figure out, why do I like this so much? Well, it's because, oh man, there's so many things about it that I love. So number 1 is, it's probably not, so the first thing is you get a good workout. Like, you can get outside. Like I worked in the office for like 10 years, just sitting in the office. And so I couldn't wait to get out at lunchtime. Like my last job I had, I couldn't wait to get outside. You have an hour. I took the full hour. I just walked. It was downtown Kansas City. I got out of the office and I just walked around like that whole hour, because like sitting for like 4 hours at a desk, like I get so antsy. Like I'm just staring out the window, hoping, it's kind of like school. Like you stare at that clock, and wait for it to hit 3 o'clock, and then just sprint out the door. It wasn't like that completely, but yeah. So like, come lunchtime, I'm out of there. Sorry, I'm just trying to get out of the way for these people on the road. Give me 1 sec. Okay. So, where was I going with this? Oh yeah. So why do I love this topic so much, and why am I doing what I'm doing? So you get a good workout, and I feel like I'm working out like 5 times a day. And so I've definitely noticed, like, I remember working in the office, like I do chores on the weekend and stuff, and you're just winded. Like I didn't really work out that much, and like my strength was not there. So like just lifting couches and 40 to 60 pounds of bags all day long like your strength. Like it's crazy. I was surprised that, I mean, yeah, if you're going to go to the gym and work out, then yeah, your strength is going to increase and come back. So I guess that makes sense. But I was just surprised that the strength. But not only that, because like when I used to work out, I just did like upper body workouts for the most part. There's this thing where they make fun of like, don't miss leg day. Can't miss the legs. Anyway, but junk removal, you get a whole body workout. It's like going to CrossFit. So like, because you're doing like lunges, you're doing all these like movements that you would have never done otherwise. Like just your whole body just strengthens, like your from your legs to your arms. So anyway, so that's pretty fun. I enjoy doing that. And I probably, when I first started, I'm like, you know what? I better do this now, because if I wait even 10 years, it's going to be too late. I better do this while I am young enough. And because I really want to do it. I think I would have regretted not doing this if I waited too long. So the other reason why I love junk removal is you also get to meet like a lot of customers, like so many people. And I think what it is, especially in this industry, you can't even do this in landscaping. Like I love the fact that I can just go to the job and then I'm done. Like there's no commitments. I don't even have to come back next month unless they call, but there's no commitments. Like like if I were to fill up a schedule, like even landscaping, if I were to fill up, a customers of 50 or 100, however many, then like I just created a job for myself. I know it's a job because I'm in the truck and but just the fact that like I'm not committed. I'm not going to disappoint anybody if I turn the ads off and go. Some of you guys like fishing, but for me, like if I go biking or just hang out with the family, like nobody's gonna be pounding down my door asking for a refund. Anyway, so just kind of the flexibility of the schedule, I really enjoy that. And I know at some point, I'm still committed. Like if I leave the truck, which is what I'm doing right now, like the business won't run. So I totally get it. I need to get people on the team at some point, but I just kind of love that aspect of it. I'm gonna test this out to see if it's still working when I switch. Let me see. Okay, it's still working. So the other thing is the people. Holy cow! I was not expecting the amazing people. And I'm going to spend a whole episode on this next time, of the people that I've met and like the locations. Like there's this old lady that I met that her husband passed, and she lived on this beautiful property. Like it was like in the summer, and like I was cleaning out her barn, and she's the nicest lady. Like holy cow! I know she's got a whole life of amazing stories. You want to get to know them. And she's just showing me all of her husband's equipment and just like all the stuff in there, just you could just tell has this huge story behind it, and you can just feel it, and it's incredible. So I just love meeting people. And the other fact is like I'm in a way I'm cleaning up the community. I love that that's my way of serving people, and I just love that I'm doing my part to kind of clean up after the community, and the customer is so satisfied. Like it's a relief on their face. It's even moving is stressful. Like you move somebody and they're just stressed the whole time because like it's just stressful. But junk removal, like, and the other thing, like you don't have to be careful. Like you just, I mean, if it's nice, you do because you probably want to reuse it somehow. But you throw it in the back. You don't. maybe don't throw it, but you don't have to be like super careful if something breaks, and you just put it in there. And then after you're done with the job, like the smile on their face, they're just so glad that they have their space back, like in their garage or their basement. So many times where they're just like, oh man, it's been like this for who knows how long, and now I can actually breathe. So that feels really good to be able to see the customer part of it. So here's the other part I love is all the stuff. I love just finding cool stuff. I found so many cool things this past year. So like the most recent thing was like a box full of vinyls. And so I found like I gave it I gave it to my dad. There's like these vinyls of like these old bands like Chicago, Michael Jackson. It was like a collab record. It was the weirdest thing. I've never seen anything like it. I'll have to take a picture. And then there's this Barry Manilow album, and what else was there? Kansas. I don't know. All these old records are really cool, I found. And maybe that'll be another episode too, of what kind of the cool stuff I found. The other aspect, I love finding treasures. Like you just never know what you're gonna find, and I love that. So like another cool thing was, oh man, there's so many things. I won't get into that, but yeah, cool treasures. The other thing that I love is these items. Like so many times you can just repurpose this somehow. It's like you can recycle the metal. Like you don't have to throw everything away. You can bring stuff home. I brought so many couches and furniture home where I've just resold. And then I have like a little pile of like the little things I have a hard time with, because like you only have so much time. Like I'll take a minute to throw things on Marketplace to sell, you know. And shout out to Lugstar. I like his quote of oh shoot, I'm gonna mess up his quote. Some of the money all the time, or wait, all the money some of the time, and then some of the money, oh shoot, you're gonna have to ask him. But basically you want to just turn over as much as you can, because if you're gonna store all these couches, like you're gonna run out of space. So you just try to turn over the stuff that you keep, try to get it out of there. And there was one time, like, oh man, my operations was so messed up last year. Like there's a video, it just, my driveway and garage or pole barn was just completely filled with stuff. Like it looked like I was ordered. Like man, it would have cost so much if I had to pay somebody to get all of that out there. But eventually I got caught up, and anyway, so I'm trying to operate a little bit more concise and control the inventory that comes in and out. So anyway, I just love the fact that you can resell stuff, repurpose stuff, and yeah, so it's pretty cool. So there you go. That's why I love doing what I'm doing. And you get to drive these cool trucks or the trailers. I mean, I don't know. It's just, there's just stuff that you can do that most people can't. Like even like most of my life, there was just not a way for us to haul anything away. I remember we paid, man, there's so many times where like things collect. Like you look in your garage and like a year later it's just like filled up. Like how did that happen? So like there was one time where we ordered this, like must have been a 40-yard dumpster, and we filled that thing up. Like we ran out of space, so I had to take everything out that was wood and put it in a pile to burn. I had like this burn pile, and it was just so much work. And so by the end of the job, like my wife and I, we shook hands. We said, never again. And we looked at each other like, this will never happen again. So anyway, it's just a headache. Like you have to get a dumpster out if you have a bunch of stuff, or, and it, I don't know. It's just, And then forget it if you have to move. Like, I would love it if we were ever to move again, I would just get rid of everything. Like, I would get rid of as much stuff as possible. Like, I only want just like a 16-foot U-Haul to move our stuff if we ever have to do that. But probably have to keep that in the back of my mind. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's why I love this business. I just another thing is like the skill to get in. So like the skill of actually doing the job is a lot easier, but it's teaching me how to like run a business so that like, in the future, if I do other things that requires more skill, I'll figure out the operations, the marketing, the sales, just all that kind of stuff. So anyway, that's kind of why I love doing what I'm doing. But anyway, that's all I have for today. I think another time we'll cover some other topics. I might even have like, some people on here that I can interview, give me an excuse to kind of pick their brain and hopefully help you out too. But yeah, if you like this, I'm sure there's a way to let me know. I got some domains I got to set up where you can reach out to me, or socials, something. We'll figure it out. But if you are on YouTube, give it a comment or a like, or if you're on other places, give it a review. That'd be awesome. And we'll see you on the next one.